hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, you are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God.
Welcome again to Street Talk. My name is Ahmad Sakaraki. And on Street Talk, what we do, we deal with political, social, and economics here in Michigan, the U.S., and abroad. Now, joining me this evening, tonight, is one of my favorite people. I always call her one of my younger sisters, Miss Angela Matthews.
Hey there, sir. How you doing?
Not bad, not
Good.
bad. Why don't you, for people who may have missed or something like that, give us a little bit about, your background.
Oh, when I'm asked this question, it's really kind of hard for me to speak about me. I mean, I can talk about you all day.
Okay.
But in speaking of myself, excuse me, I've been in the Lansing area for well over 30 years
Okay.
and just been involved in the community in different capacities, either, sometimes in a leadership role or even sometimes a lot of times just working behind the scenes because I love people and I love serving and I love helping. And so with that, Lansing has become, of course, second home. A lot of family here know of a lot of people and have great relationships with the Lansing community as well as, the Tri-County area.
Right.
And so just many, many years doing productions, at the Warden Center, MSU Auditorium, and then even at churches around in the area. And like I said, and even just helping other people when productions come to town and events that happens and goes on.
Okay.
I have my show called The Connection TV show. And we like to do what you like to do, just from a different angle of helping people to be from the unknown to become known, as well as to support, with their products, their services. Maybe there is a story, that they have to tell. Maybe there's an event that's going on. And so we like to support in that capacity, like to be on the scene in the community, doing those awesome and great things that you do. Because like you've been having your ear to the grindstone, to the streets, appropriately named Street Talk for quite a long time.
Yeah.
You and I like connected years ago when Carol Greer was around, Big Mama is who I call her. And so, we've always managed to come back together and have conversations, which is a great thing.
Yeah, and I believe that my program and your program. Now, I don't watch the community programs much. I should, but somehow I miss them. Because watching the news and stuff, then I done miss the program, but. We've been on quite a while.
Yes, we've been, I was with Carol for about almost 20 years, and then unfortunately she did transition to heaven about in 2009. She gave me the blessings to start the Connection TV show because she was talk about the political things and that the heavier side, you know, the things that you do, and then I would come with the lighter side about events and happenings and just conversations. And so the Connection TV show was birthed on Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday in January 2010.
Okay.
So it's not like we just popped up and we're here doing something. You know, there has been, you know, time and effort and a process to being able to have your own community TV show where you can talk about topics of conversations that is important, and then come to the table for real, because my axiom is real thoughts, real talk. And so sometimes you can't fluff things or be so politically correct, so to speak. You know, like we're experiencing now, people seem to think that they can just say whatever they want to say. We still need to use tact in what we're saying when we're expressing ourselves, to be respectful, to be considerate, and to listen. And we can even agree to disagree, but none of this, you know, buffoonery that we see going on right now.
Yeah, we see a bunch of it. What are some of the things that you're doing right now?
Oh,
I know you was elected
to the Lansing Community College Board of Trustees.
Now what that consists of? What?
You know, that consists of commitment and dedication, but you also have to care about the students, staff, the community, and the educational arena, because there's a lot of things that are going on in the educational arena that we don't really know about. And a lot of times you don't understand the dynamics of how institutions and organizations connect to the community and how it truly trickles down and affects everyone until you actually get in, you know, to position or office. Like, you know, one of the candidates, Janice Jackson, says everyone deserves a seat at the table. And so when you're at the table, you get to find out and see what's actually going on and how that's going, you know, how that impacts. And so, you know, Lansing Community College is doing great and awesome things. We are a forerunner in what's happening with community college. We were named #1 from schools.com in the state of Michigan out of 28 colleges. Absolutely fantastic. We also have won great recognition for our governance as far as our fiscal management. Also, our online programs are within the #1 tier when you talk about Western and Michigan State University and places like that. Our online programs have definitely been recognized. And then we're ahead of the curve when it comes to robotics, manufacturing, aviation. So here we have a community college that's trying to prepare our youth, those who are graduating, or even retool some people for what's needed, you know, in the employment arena in the very near future, like today and of tomorrow. So it's a jewel. It is, and if you go to the campus, if you really truly explore the campus, it looks like a mini university. It honestly truly does. You know, the aesthetics, the decor, the buildings, the technology. I would encourage anyone, go tour LCC. You would be absolutely surprised as to what's happening on campus.
About 15 years ago, I took class at LCC, and about 20-some years ago at LCC. And I noticed now there's just so many new buildings and everything. What is approximately the enrollment at LCC, you know?
I cannot give you like a definite, but it's over 13,000.
Wow.
You know, it's over 13,000. And, you know, when we have an economy that's thriving, then there's a certain sector or a certain demographic of individuals who may come out of the educational arena and they may go back to work because now jobs are plentiful. If Indeed.com is one of the #1 search engines that we have, and I do believe that there's about 600,000 jobs that are always uploaded to Indeed.com. But also, I was at a conference about a few weeks ago, and the Michigan Community College Association, MCCA, is pretty much kind of like the watch guard, you know, of the Michigan educational arena of the system. And so they were saying how there's like 100,000 jobs. I mean, employers are saying, hey, we need employees. And so there are jobs that are out there. It's just depending on what job you're looking for. And so LCC is trying to, or we do have programs that helps, you know, whether it's certificates, degree, you know, or transferable, you know, credits to, you know, Western and some other places, that we are trying to help the economy by having ready and skilled labor. And that's what company and organizations are calling for right now. Can you come out of college? You're ready to come into this employment arena and work. Less training, more knowledge, ready to work.
Now I noticed quite a few students come in and there for 2 years, then they go on to Michigan State or someplace. Then some can get a degree right there, can't they?
Well, you have your associate's, you know, degree programs. You have your certifications program. Because what's I think the educational system is finding out, or the collegiate system is finding out, is that, you know, not everyone is geared for a 2-year then to a 4-year institution. Some people want to go and they want to get the certification to be, you know, to be certified in the area of interest that they desire to go into. And that's okay. And so LCC, you know, we cater to that. There are some individuals who want to come back and want to upgrade their skills. You know, things are changing in the employment arena. You know, about computers. Well, what about it? What about, you know, computers and smartphones and everything is interconnected now. So how do we become and stay abreast of technology and provide, you know, the educational arena where people can come and learn and grow so they can go out and be productive in their families and in their communities and even stabilize the economy. So
I see a lot of people who let's say a few years ago lost their job or something like that, and then they come back to LCC and study for something new. On the job they had, they kind of get that, you know, rein up again. You know,
I mean, it's a great. You know, you steady learning, you steady building, you steady looking at how you can do things better. You know, any company or organization, I think, you know, does that or should do that, because nothing stays the same. Everything changes. And so you have to be able to change, of course, with the times. And that's for real. That's just not, you know, just fluff and talk. Because if you don't, you're going to be left behind, and then you're not going to thrive as much as you normally would, or even if you could. So yes, you have those students. You have students who have gone to college and they may have obtained like an associate's degree from LCC. However, that's probably the furthest that they've gone in their educational journey. And so we have, we have people who come back because they're like, wait, things have changed. My job is changing. So what can I do? Hidden Figures. Classic example. I love that movie. IBM computers was coming into, you know, the NASA, you know, arena. And so she went out to the library. She got the book. She wanted to be ahead of the curve. How do we program? But she did not only do it for herself. She taught her crew. So it's like, where I go, you go. So each one, teach one, reach one, and take them with you. And I think that part we may be losing. You know, we may be losing because I'm not supposed to be on this journey by myself. I'm not supposed to be rising to whatever level by myself because God didn't put me here as a solo act.
Right.
And so a friend of mine says, what good is it to be in heaven all by yourself?
Right.
You ain't got nobody to talk to. You ain't got nobody to bounce any ideas off of. You know, you just listening to yourself, talking to yourself, and listening to yourself. I don't know how how much good that's gonna do in a matter of time. But you should want to surround yourself with people who have different thoughts and ideas and perspectives and people who are smarter than you. I want to be around those people because I don't know everything.
No.
And I want to ask questions.
Yeah.
You know, I want to raise my hand all the time and be a nuisance.
Yeah. And you want to see how you might be looking at something one way and they're looking at it a totally different way.
Absolutely.
But you know, you want to say you won't say they're wrong. You listen to them. You know. And then you know, if they present something in there, they say, oh, okay, yeah.
And let me just say this: what good would it be for you to have Street Talk, for me to have the Connection TV show, and for others to have different programs and shows, if it only focused on us and our thoughts and our opinions? You know, I kind of get bored with me. I think I'm a pretty, lively person. But, I think, we could get bored with ourselves. And so we have these forums like this so that we can connect to other people and that our audience can hear and see different perspectives, hear different opinions, see different people, And I think that makes for, a great America.
Oh, oh, well.
A great community and a great America.
Oh, well, we... And, we're going to get to that in another show, but what do you think about the thing that went on in Virginia this weekend?
Oh, wow. That is so heartbreaking, and it makes me angry in the positive, correct manner because of my heart, because I love people.
Okay.
And some things I cannot grasp sometimes. That much hatred that somebody has for another culture or another person, that it is so deep and dark inside of them that they are blinded by what's right and by what's true, And so I think it is devastating. I think that it was totally something unnecessary. And, for someone to come from the outside and come in and bring that type of toxic, rhetoric and behavior. And then I read something where it was a law enforcement officer from Massachusetts that posted something on social media laughing at the matter, saying, I love it, or I love something to the fact that he was rejoicing over what took place.
Oh, yeah.
And there's never a point when we rejoice when a life is taken unnecessarily and just for the stupid reason because I'm black. Or they're white, or they're Asian, or they're Mexican, or because I like what I like and I like who I like and you like what and who you like. I mean, the mitigating goal of someone to think in their mind, I'm going to take your life because I think I'm superior to you. You need to bow down to me because of my race. That right there just gets me. And I never thought that I would be living in a time where the tensions would be that high. I mean, I know people have their thoughts and opinions. When I go to you see it in every day. Every day I go to the store You know, I can hand my money to a clerk. That person may not be as, courteous to me as the person that they are behind me, and that person is, white or other than black.
Yeah.
I mean, we get that every day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you got to
Yeah.
pick and choose your
Yeah.
battles.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
sometimes I like to call people out on
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, hey,
Yeah.
you having a bad day?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Do you like black people? No. I may slip that in there, or you may touch somebody, just to see would they pull back, and flinch because you touch them, but sometimes gingerly and sweetly, sometimes you do that little tap to say, hey, I'm human.
Yeah.
Blood flows through my veins
Yeah.
just like it flows through your veins.
Yeah.
And if you pull back the skin, guess what? My muscles is probably flush red just like yours.
Yeah.
My blood is red
Yeah.
just like yours. My bone, all
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
Underneath this,
Yeah.
you couldn't tell the color of anybody.
Right.
And if we didn't speak or talk, you couldn't tell the dialect or where we were from.
That's it.
So back to what you're talking about, what happened over the weekend, very senseless,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
very needless,
Yeah.
atrocious, dehumanizing. And I could go on and on with the wording, to describe it. Appalling.
Mm-hmm.
And the deal is that we talk about our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about how they see,
Yeah.
what we do and how they mimicking things, and you're perpetuating this behavior, this poisonous pedagogy.
Yeah.
You're handing it down directly and indirectly.
Yeah.
So how are we to ever overcome or get rid of the stigma of, black is whack and white is right?
Yeah.
And there's this thing of black and white.
Yeah.
And because of my skin color, I am inferior
Right,
to
yeah,
you
Yeah.
and sub.
Yeah.
But because of your skin color, you're superior and you're high. Doesn't matter the education level.
Right.
Doesn't matter where I am a thriving entrepreneur and business person and that I speak proper English. But just because of my skin color and you don't like the fact, and in the dimension of your mind, you're thinking that, oh, my race is about to be extinct or annihilated. That is some foolishness.
Yeah.
So you taunt your sign and
Yeah.
your symbols,
Yeah.
and you marched yourself into virgin territory to terrorize it
Yeah.
and pillage it and rape it just to establish your throne
Yeah.
of thoughts.
Yeah.
Don't get me on this. Now I got to come back. Come on back, Angela. Just come on back.
But the thing is that and a lot of the news people want to pretend, it was about the statute. I was telling somebody today, it wasn't about the statute. It was that just give them an excuse to go in there and do like what they did.
And act foolish,
Yeah,
plumb
Yeah.
foolish.
Yeah, it wasn't about the statute coming down, all of that, and back, I don't know how many months ago, they were supposed to remove the statute, but it's still up there. So it wasn't that, wasn't that at all.
Evil never truly needs an excuse because it has always existed. And it will continue to exist in the hearts and the minds of men who do not desire to be transformed, renew their minds, and to be open-minded and receptive and accepting of others because of their differences. Whether it is my color, whether it is my nationality, whether it is my gender or my preferences. Evil never needs an excuse because it's just there.
Right.
And it just needs probably a light, like a flick.
Yep.
And then there it goes.
Yeah.
But we have to we have to learn, because I truly believe that there's more love than it is, than the hate and the evil. You just got to look for it. You really do. In the community and where I go, I see it. I mean, you get, that other kind of behavior or even attitudes. But people like yourself and me and people who we work with, we got to continue to be, loving and kind, and to show that, because the light will always stamp out darkness. It will.
We got about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. What do you think of Trump's attitude? Because today he come and spoke today. He tried to clean up after everybody. These people done said, "Hey man, this you really didn't respond." So what do you think of him? I mean, what do you think?
I do a big sigh twice.
But because from my view, he's and I'm just talking about from my side of it. He's a racist, and he's been a racist. If we remember, in the 70s, New York had to bring some things on him to let blacks live in some of his apartments. So he's always been a racist. So what are your thoughts?
A leopard never changes its spots, and a snake will always slither.
Yeah.
So you get what is wiggy wig. What you see is what you get. And the thing about people like that is, once they tell you who they are and show you who they are, actions corresponding with what they say, then you better believe what you see. And that is what has happened. So to think anything other than would be different, there are those that got hoodwinked and bamboozled.
Yeah.
Now deal with that. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Because he told.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to?
Don't let anybody make you think that God chose America as his divine messianic force to be a sort of policeman of the whole world. God has a way of standing before the nations with judgment, and it seems that I can hear God saying to America, "You are too arrogant. If you don't change your ways, I will rise up and break the backbone of your power, and I'll place it in the hands of a nation that doesn't even know my name. Be still and know that I'm God."
You couldn't tell the